The Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my college football picks for week 9. Before I continue, two quick things. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate if you do that. Like the video as well. I'm not going to have my updated records this week, and the reason why is because my Microsoft, well, not my Microsoft Word, but my Microsoft Office updated this week. It got renewed, my subscription to that, and for some reason it deleted everything. um all my files and stuff. I don't know why. So I'll get the records to you next week, so sorry about that. But 13 games this week, a lot of interesting spreads this week in college football. So I think you're going to get a lot of close games according to Vegas. So let's get into it. Number 1 Ohio State versus number 18 Penn State. This is the big noon kickoff game. To me, this is your game of the week. You got Penn State coming in as a 14.5 point dog here against Ohio State at home. I think on principle you gotta take Penn State plus 14.5, because even some of the teams that Penn State has gone in with against Ohio State that I thought were going to get beat down by three to four touchdowns. They kept it at worst within 2 touchdowns or 2 possessions. So I think on principle, anything over like a 14-point spread in this one, you gotta take Penn State. But I think Ohio State does win at the end. I think they are the better team. I know Nick Jibba is out for this game. I think that will hurt Ohio State some. But I still think Ohio State goes in here and wins the game by double digits. 34-24. Ohio State is the score I have in that one. Oklahoma versus Iowa State. Iowa State is a 1.5 point dog at home against Oklahoma. I'm going to take Iowa State in the mild upset. You got to think Iowa State's going to win a Big 12 game somewhere. They're on a 4-game skid. Matt Campbell, is he maybe a bit overrated? Yes, but at the same time, he is still a good head coach. You feel like Iowa State's due for a win. So I'm going to take Iowa State plus 1.5 to win the game outright in the mild upset 37-32. Next game, number 9 Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. Kansas State is a 1.5 point favorite at home against number 9 Oklahoma State. I think this is an easy pick for me. I'm going to continue to take Oklahoma State. They've done me good so far this year. I think they are the best team in the Big 12, and I think they go on the road and beat a Kansas State team that might have some issues with quarterback. I didn't look into that situation before going into the game. I know they had run, I believe, a third string quarterback out at one point against TCU last week. Kansas State did. But I like Oklahoma State plus 1.5 on the road to win the game outright. 35-27 is the score I have. Next game, the cocktail party. Number 2 Georgia versus Florida. Florida is a 23-point dog. It's a neutral site game in Jacksonville every year with this one. I do think Georgia wins. That number is a very good number. I don't think Georgia's offense is that good. I feel like Georgia, if you look at them, I think this game's going to go one of two ways. Either it's going to be a beatdown, but Georgia's offense struggles some, and the defense is a game like pick sixes and stuff, or Georgia's offense plays good, and the defense gets a pick six or two, and it's like 2017 when I think the final score was 42-7. I'm leaning towards the first thing I said, so I'm actually going to take Florida plus 23 on not on the road in the cocktail party there in Jacksonville. But I think Georgia wins the game 31-10. So 21-point win for Georgia. Florida gets a backdoor cover though. Next game. Now to the night games here in the straight up category. Kentucky versus number 4 Tennessee. Tennessee only 11.5 point favorite at home. I actually think this is a good number. Could be a bit of a look ahead spot. They get Georgia next week and maybe the game of the year. I know a lot of people are going to say Tennessee Alabama was the game of the year. Georgia Tennessee definitely going to rival that going into it at the minimum. I like Tennessee to win cover though. A lot of people thought they were going to be in for a letdown against UT Martin. I know it's UT Martin. And listen, was it 7-7 early? Yes. Next thing you knew, it was 38-7 midway through the second quarter. And I know it was UT Martin, but Tennessee, I honestly think Tennessee might at the end of the day, make the college football playoffs. And that's crazy for me to say, but I think this offense is that good. I think that, and now Grant, I know the defense isn't perfect, but they do get some stops. I think they win and cover here against Kentucky at the end of the day. I'm not sold on Kentucky. I think Will Levis is overrated. And in my opinion, I think Kentucky's in this game, but Tennessee pulls away and covers. 41-26 is the score I have in this one. Tennessee winning and covering that 11.5 point spread. Michigan State versus number 3 Michigan, and Paul Bunyan here. Michigan is a 22-point favorite at home. I'm taking Michigan State plus 22 in this one. I think this game's going to be a little bit closer than 22 points. I actually think this could be a very well a game going into the fourth quarter, but I think Michigan pulls away at the end. 34-16 is the score I have, an 18-point win for the Wolverines. But definitely give me Michigan State plus 22. If I'm Michigan State, I just sell out on the run and just because I know that secondary is terrible, but I would just sell out on the run and make JJ McCarthy, who I do question his arm talent. JJ McCarthy, I don't think has the best arm ever. I let him beat me like that, and I think it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because I just think Michigan is miles ahead of Michigan State right now. But if I'm Michigan State, that's how I think you got to go into this game defensively. And then the last game in the straight category, number 11, Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. Texas A&M, 3-4. Just, I mean, it looks like a lost team. The 2-point dogs at home against Ole Miss. I think they bounce back and get the victory in the mild upset. 27-23. If I'm that home crowd night game. And I remember saying this on McD Sports 4 going in the preseason, going into the college football season. I said Ole Miss is going to start the season out 7-0, and then they're going to lose to LSU. It's all going to probably fall apart. Looks like that prediction is looking correct, especially if Ole Miss goes on the road and loses to Texas A&M, which I think they will. 27-23, as I said, I'll take Texas A&M plus 2 in that one. Now my 3 locks of the week. For a lock, you just gotta be favored, and maybe even a slight underdog. And for me to say that this team's gonna definitely win, we'll kick it off with Notre Dame versus number 16 Syracuse. A lot of money's coming in late on Notre Dame. This game was, I think, a 2.5 point favorite for Syracuse. Now Syracuse is only a 1 point favorite. Going into this one, I think Syracuse, number 16 Syracuse, I think they win and I think they cover. Go ahead, give me Syracuse in this one. 21-13, low scoring game, but Syracuse, their defense played really well against Clemson. I was a bit, I said I knew the defense was going to play well, but I didn't think they were going to play that well. Where basically, if they didn't just have a few dumb penalties, Syracuse probably gets out there with the win. I still think Syracuse is a good team, maybe even a great team, probably one of the best. Probably better, definitely better than the 2018 10-3 Syracuse team. I think they win and cover against Notre Dame, 21-13. Give me Syracuse. Next game, number 14, Wake Forest versus Louisville. Wake Forest is only a 3-point favorite on the road against Louisville. Louisville is kind of an up and down team. They don't really have much of a defense. I think Wake Forest takes advantage of that. They win and cover 49-38. Wake Forest, I know, doesn't have much of a defense. They will give up some points to Louisville. But at the end, Wake Forest, I just think, is the better team. Go ahead. Give me Wake in this one by 11, and they win and cover the 3-point spread. And then the last game in the locks of the week, Missouri versus South Carolina. I know South Carolina is ranked number 25. I do think they're a top 30-ish team. I'm not very too high on them, but I get it. South Carolina is only a 3.5 point favorite at home against Missouri. A lot of money's coming in on Missouri in this one all week. I think, to be honest, I don't understand why. I think South Carolina wins and covers here. 28-16, a bit of a low-scoring game, but maybe South Carolina pulls away late with a touchdown there to make it a double-digit victory. At home in Williams-Brice Stadium, night game, you just got to think basically on a neutral field, they're telling you that they would probably favor Missouri by a point or a point and a half. I would still take South Carolina on a neutral field because I think they're better than the Missouri. But yeah, I'm taking South Carolina win cover. I think this is a slam dunk here, 28-16 South Carolina. They covered the 3.5 point spread. Now the upsets of the week. 3 upsets. For it to be an upset, you have to be at least a 3-point dog. I think I am going to change that rule next year to up it a little bit. We have 3 upsets here. The first one is actually only a 3-point dog. and I was going to put this game in the straight up category, but I needed a third upset, so I just went with this. I think Auburn at home, a 3-point dog, noon kickoff against Arkansas, pulls out the outright upset, 31-27. At worst, if Auburn wins this game, it's a feel good win. At worst, I think Harsin needs this one. This is the type of game that if you're on the hot seat, you gotta win. So I think Harsin gets the job done. I actually think Harsin's not a bad coach. I just think it's not a good fit more than anything for him. I think if you put him on maybe a Pac-12 or a Big 12 squad, I think he'll thrive there. But I like Auburn to win here. The outright upset, 3-point dogs at home, 31-27 against Arkansas. Number 8, Oregon versus Cal. Cal is a 17-point dog at home. I think Cal wins this game outright. Oregon's coming off a big time win against UCLA where they basically dominated. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Oregon can make the college football playoffs." We'll see. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but Cal, a gritty team. You gotta think Justin Wilcox is gonna get a signature win somewhere. I think he's kind of on the hot seat. He needs a signature win, in my opinion. I think this is it. 17-point dogs at home. I think they get the outright win, 27-24. I'm not sold on Oregon, personally, but I mean, we'll see. We will see. I just have a gut feeling Cal's going to win this game. So I have it 27-24. Get the 17-point underdog. Get the upset here. And then the last upset, also in the Pac-12, Arizona State versus Colorado. Colorado is a 13.5-point dog at home. I definitely like Colorado to at least cover this. I'm just going to say Colorado wins it outright. 35-34 is the score I have it. Two bad teams here. From Colorado, that home crowd. They've been playing better since they got rid of Carl Dorrell. I think that continues. Arizona State, a team that seems to be going nowhere fast. Same thing with Colorado, but I mean, I do think Colorado, if they make a good hire, could turn the page. Colorado wins this game outright, 13.5-point dogs at home, but wins the game outright, 35-34. So those are the picks for week 9. Once again, sorry I can't get the records. I was planning on doing it, but what happened this week, I wasn't able to do it. But thanks for watching the video. Hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you do that. Top 25 will be out tomorrow. Hopefully get that out before the NFL kickoff. So thanks for watching. McD the Beast signing off.